Diaspora Moments by Dion London.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Thank you again for watching. My name is Dion London, and welcome to the Diaspora Moment podcast. And what is the reason why men are refusing to get married right now, 2024? Now, I don't know what is going to happen 5 years from now. I don't know. Maybe women are just going to be single for the rest of our lives because these men out here don't want to get married, okay? So women, I don't know if you are going to be single. I don't know if you guys are ready to be single, but I don't think some of us here are ready to be single, okay? So we're going to have this conversation. We decided that to bring all men, okay, to challenge each other.
Uh-huh.
Oh, God.
Now we are talking.
And now I'm the only woman over here, so hopefully I don't get beat up. But ladies, I got you, okay?
I don't think there'll be a challenge.
Really? So you guys are all going to agree to each other?
Probably.
You agree.
Oh, my God.
We'll see.
We'll see about that, huh?
We'll see.
Okay, so I'm just going to allow all my guests to introduce themselves, and then we will get right into action. Go ahead, Michael. Trust God.
Hi, everyone. My name is Michael. You can follow me on IG, TrustGod95.
Okay.
Your one and only Mr. Tintin.
Mr. Tintin in the building,
here
okay?
Hey, how you doing? My name is JoJo, a.k.a. King Kojak. Ava Jada, GN Ella, Sadad.
Oh,
Nelly's
God.
husband, too. Shout out to y'all.
I love this. I love it. I love it. Okay. Now, if you're watching, remember, don't forget to subscribe, okay? Right there. So, you see the subscribe button? Right there. Click right there underneath it, okay? And then we will bring you more shows. So, men don't want to get married right now in the year 2024. They just want to have a child with a woman and just keep it moving, right? But the same men don't also want to be with a woman with a child. So you want to impregnate women out here, but you don't want the women with kids. So who should have them if you don't want to commit?
Somebody will.
Who?
Somebody. I mean,
What is the percentage of men out there that want to be with a woman with kids? Slim.
it's not a lot, but you know, there's always those special people that, you know, their
Michael,
cases are very rare.
There are more women out there than there are with boys.
Yeah, but I'm saying, the majority of men don't want women with kids.
My
right?
point.
But
but
there's also the minority of men that might. So you know,
But then,
you just pray you get a lucky one that you
Why-
can
but
just.
why
Wait, do they have an option? Because, I mean, I don't want to overstep. Go ahead, finish.
No. You right. That's a good question. Do they have the option? Because if you already decide to open your leg, you know, do the thing with somebody and the child
but
come
then
out.
it starts from y'all because that's what I'm saying.
How?
Y'all don't want to get married.
Who decide to make the choice?
But that's what I'm saying. 2024 men don't want to get married.
Yeah, but I'm
you just
saying,
want to have a child
But I'm.
and not commit. So when you have a child and not committing, you don't commit. So if you're not committing, right, the woman has to go look for someone who's ready to commit.
So the question is, why would the woman have a child with somebody that doesn't want to commit?
Okay. So, but then doesn't it also come back to y'all also saying that, oh, women always want married, women want
No.
Uh-huh.
Because you have to understand, before you go to that degree of having a kid with somebody, right? You need to know what you're getting yourself into. Last time I was on the podcast, I said that if you go looking for, and finance is a big aspect of what you're looking for in a man, be ready to deal with the headache. Because a guy that has made a certain level of money or is making a certain level of money, the chances of him wanting one woman is very slim. So if you go around looking for somebody that's making 2, 3, 4, be ready to share.
okay.
You understand?
But I'm not out there looking for 200, 300,000 salary income. I just want a man to be with, commit.
Oh, you can find one.
By 2024, the men don't want to get married. That's what I'm saying.
Not every man, but there are some that
but
wants
you
to
have to
get
understand
married.
there are more women out here than there are with men. So if some of the men don't want to get married, then where does that leave us?
Be by yourself.
What nonsense is this one?
Okay, good question. Would you rather be by yourself or go be with somebody and then the child comes and the person is not there? Which one would you rather want?
I'd rather be single.
So like I said, be by yourself.
But that's not
It's
how
a
but that's not how the world is going. The whole idea is to have the men stop having that mentality of not getting married.
So what I'll say,
Before that can happen, there has to be a lot of restructuring, a lot of changing.
So what kind of changes? No, now first of all, you need to tell me or tell us why men don't want to get married 2024. Why?
Well, you see, there's a lot of factors that play in that role, but for men to get to a point of marrying, right, both the men and the female mindset have to change, right? Social media is a big influence in that part, right? But I don't think that like men and women should allow social media to dictate, right, how they should, how they should speak, or how they should look for somebody, or how they should act, right? But social media is a big influence on the reason why men and women don't want to get married. Because, for instance, there's a girl that maybe you want to talk to, right? But you go on IG and she's half naked already. You've already seen the car inside already before. Even you haven't test drive it, but you've tested, right?
Free show.
You've already advertised yourself. Nowadays, a lot of women are advertising themselves before they even get close. You get what I'm saying? If you want to be respected, if you want to be seen as a princess or as a queen or that, you have to be incognito. The person that you are talking to or the person you are with are the only person that should have access to you.
But I mean, there are a lot of women out here, so you have options. You don't have to choose the one that's naked.
Unless this is I always say this, unless social media is part of your business, right? Then you have to, you got to make your money, right? But if it's not, you shouldn't be advertising yourself on social media. That's what I'm saying. So a lot of men don't want to get married is because social media is a big influence. The mindset of the women nowadays is not right. You understand?
What are the women doing that is not right?
A lot of women would rather date than get married. You'd be surprised.
How?
I agree.
You agree, Jojo?
Listen, a lot of women nowadays would date than get married, because if you meet somebody and you give them the option of marrying or we can date, you get whatever, which is I take you out on a date, we could go on trips, you could go on vacation, that big Chanel bag that you want, you get on. They will choose that.
Yep.
They will choose that. They will literally choose that. So if I'm a guy and I meet somebody that just want to do that, that's the lane we're going to walk in.
But then, is that what you want, though?
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
But what if you want them married?
If I want them married and that's the mindset you're working, I'm going to waste your time and go get the one that I want to marry.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But if you give the man that option, they are going to be in that lane with you, because you just want to have fun. So we're going to have fun. You understand? So, like I said, the mindset of the man needs to change and the mindset of the woman needs to change. Women need to start making it difficult for men to even get access to you, to even talk to you, to even see you. You understand? When you these three things, if you make it easy for a man, it's a done deal. You can let's not go into details, but that's the reason why. So unless
do you think maybe some of the men are afraid to get married?
Some are afraid, but you have to understand. Look at this though. If there's not a lot of good apples out there,
are you saying there are more bad apples out here?
Oh, nowadays there's more bad apples than there is good apples. But they're still good. But there's more bad than there is good out there.
That's a screw up generation then.
Oh yes. Yeah. That's why I was telling my good friend right here that I pray for his daughters.
Oh God.
Well,
Mr.
Good on this set.
Good. Mr. Tintin, talk to me.
Yes. I've been doing a lot of thinking about this. Something that is just I don't think this problem just started. I really don't think this problem is just this generation. I think this problem, thinking about it deeply, it said he have started couple generations back.
But they were getting married more.
But if you take after 1940, right? If you look it up after 1940, especially even 1930 during World War One. After World War One, and definitely after World War Two, right? Before that, women were not going to work. It was the
They stay home.
traditional family structure.
Right.
During World War II, men were sent away, women started working in the factory, so women became earners, right? When the men came back, the women said, we're not going back to just being a mother or, just staying home. So now men and women were sharing the workplace, right? Forward it to the 60s, where birth control came in, right? Now, the woman can also decide when to have a child, right? Then you go to the 70s, then all these feminine movement came
Feminine
in.
movement started in the 70s.
Well, it really escalate. It really escalated in the 70s,
Okay.
right? It really it took off. Feminine movement had always been there, but it really took off in the 70s,
Okay.
right? And then look at when that every year after that, and look at the marriage rate every year after that. You see that there's less and less and less and less and less to where we have gotten.
I mean, the point that you are making, it's like you are saying that like women are the cause of it.
No. There is an institution, not women, right? Because it just don't start. It's not just women, right? Because we have institutions that are women can't just make that happen, right? It have to be something else that is pushing the agenda, because there's always something pushing an agenda, right? So if that whatever it is pushing an agenda of you get divorced, right? You get rewarded. If you're a woman, you get rewarded. Everybody knows. You get rewarded.
All women get rewarded after a divorce, though.
Majority do.
Majority, Michael.
Yes.
Majority.
Yeah.
Yes.
How?
Okay, so let me put it this way. Let's say it doesn't matter whether you make $10,000 a year or make $1 million a year, right? Let's say you and the millionaire both have 2 children, right? You make 10,000. They're not just gonna say you make 10,000, so you're not going to pay the woman or you don't make enough money, so you don't have to take care of the child, or you don't have to, you don't have to pour a certain amount, right? And usually, and nowadays it's like almost what 50, 60, 70% that is going to go to that person. So whether it's the 50, 60% or 60, 70% of 10,000 or 60, 70% of 1 billion, it's the exact same thing. It's a ratio, right? Maybe you might be married
But the alimony comes in if the woman is not working.
after 20 years. If you are married after 20 years,
If you've been with the woman for 20 years,
yes.
that is when you pay her.
After 20 years, you pay alimony regardless.
But also all the people that marriages are not getting up to 20 years, what happened? They don't get alimony?
A lot of them don't get
Like
alimony.
now a lot of marriages don't get to 20 years. So
And then-
those people are not getting alimony.
And then
So
guess
that
what?
means that they are not getting rewarded.
But
as
then
as
whatever
say.
you have,
Right, they get in child
whatever
support.
whatever you
Child support, that's your child.
No, not
No,
the child
no,
support
no,
per
no,
se.
no,
no. All right.
Not what the child support per se. Whatever, right? Let's say I have a business, right? And I have this amount of wealth, right? I've worked all my life for it. Even probably worked on that business before you even came, right? When you leave it, right? You getting quite a chunk amount, whether we were married for 1 day
Okay.
or we were married for 100 years.
Okay.
You get an automatic 50%, right? So you get 50% of that wealth, okay? Now, I get 50%. Most likely, if you have children,
That is if you, like you said, you have businesses. The
But that-
ones that don't.
even if you don't have business, let's say you have a house,
And we don't have businesses, right?
Right, let's
And
say-
we've been married for less than 10 years.
okay? So let's say this.
What
You
kind of
don't have
alimony am I
businesses.
getting?
It's not even the alimony part. what savings do you have? Let's say what savings do the man have?
Not every man out there has that kind of money that you are saying.
It doesn't have to be.
We are talking about the average man who doesn't have everything that you are saying. So let's assume that I meet you, right? We've been together for 5 years. You don't have all those kind of savings.
Okay.
When I met you, probably working at CS or Home Depot or something.
Shout out to CS.
Shout out to CS. Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks to Jojo. Okay.
Okay.
And then we met. I loved you not because of your money or whatsoever. It's because we just loved each other. And then we get married.
Okay.
And then 5 years later, it didn't work out.
Okay.
And now, let's say we just have one child, right?
Okay, we have one
and then
child.
we divorced.
Okay. Let me ask you.
What
this.
reward am I getting
Let
other
me-
than child support?
Let me ask you something.
And that is the reality of a lot of women out there.
But the
No,
question is, how
let's
much
say-
money are
let's
you
say-
getting from child support?
No, it's
But
not
wait,
even
wait,
the
wait,
money.
but
Child
why-
support comes
Let
with
me-
the income that you are
No,
making.
let me. If you have any court or divorce papers, look at it. They ask you to bring everything that you owe. It doesn't matter. It's not just that. So that includes just the $200 savings that you have or the $300 savings that you have, right? Not everybody is going to have 10,000. Not everybody's going to have 100,000, right?
But that is the reality. The ones that don't have it is the reality.
Hey,
What you are saying
let me
is
step in right quick.
the
No,
cream,
but
the,
then-
the
let me
top
step in right-
1%.
The ratio, right? If I have $200, right, and then they take, let's say, $51 out of that $200. Okay, let me make it $100, right, to make it even. And they take $51, right, out of that $100 savings that I have and give it to you, right? It hits me just as hard as somebody that have $100 million, because guess what? The $100 million, their expenses are also up there, right? And then if I'm married to you and I have $100 million, you are not going to be living the life of somebody with $51.
That circumstance that you were saying, right? That means that the girl wasn't working all this time around, all that 5 years that you've been with her, or she is working.
Even if she's working, right? Even if she's working, they look at who makes the most income.
But you work at CS.
Doesn't matter. Then maybe she
Whatever check you bring in, you still gonna get
or
back.
whatever wealth you have.
So
And the
what?
reason
So
I'm
what
saying
if
that-
you work at CS? Maybe I was working at an office somewhere.
and you were making more money, it goes
And
the
then-
other way around, right? But this is the thing. What is the chance for most, if we be true to ourselves, majority of the time, the men are the one making more money.
So let me step in real quick.
Yeah, go
right?
ahead, Jojo.
So what exactly are we talking about? Are we talking about who's making more money or what? Because if we're talking about the family structure, money does not solve all those issues. I can speak for myself as an example, right? Growing up, my father was a cab driver. My father's also a handicapped man, right? This man, although he couldn't walk from maybe the time when he was an adolescent till he grew up to a grown man, he never walked straight. At the end of the day, he made sure that he provided a roof over our heads, made sure that he provided food for our bellies, and then he put my two brothers and myself, three children, in private school, even though he didn't have to do that, because he felt like it is what would help push us forward in life. Not only did he do that, he was home to counsel us. He was home to advise us as men. Till this day, before I make a decision, I call him. Like, yo, Pop, should I do this? What would you do? And he would never tell me, do this. He would tell me, well, did you consider all your other options? That is how you grow a man. You can make millions of dollars and then throw millions of dollars at your kids and then go on vacation somewhere. They never see you, but you can't counsel them. As a man in a household, right? Your role is to nurture your kids, provide for your kids, provide security. So if you saying, oh, I make this much money, this, and that, that's feeding your own ego. That's not doing anything for anybody. And that is exactly why this generation is where we are. We want to see instant gratification, as I said before, because we want to say, oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make this much money. If I make this much money, you can't tell me anything. That takes nobody anywhere.
By the time you get there,
at the end of the day, my father, to the end of, nobody can even match up with him. Hulk Hogan, whoever, you can't match up with this guy. Why? Because of what he instilled in me, what he instilled in my brothers, because what he instilled in me is going into my girls. Like Mikey was saying that he prays for my kids. I'm not worried about them 4 girls. Why? Because I'm showing them the way I love their mother, the way that my dad loved my mom, the way that my dad loved me is what I'm putting in them. So if a man No matter, because they gonna have their money regardless.
Right.
They gonna be set. If a man can't show you this is who I am as a person, back off. You don't need that guy in your life. You don't need him. So you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you can say, hey, as a man, you're supposed to make this, you're supposed to make that. That's what's wrong with this generation. We putting a value on absolutely everything. If you don't make this money, you can't talk. If you're not making this, then you can't do this. If you can't do that, that's not how it works.
By the time we get to that,
Yeah.
right? Remember, the topic is why men are getting married.
Yes, sir.
Right? Your father is I salute him. He did a great job.
Right.
Looking at you and the way you speak, he did a great job. But the topic that we are covering, by the time we get there, we then pass so much of that.
I don't believe so.
Because guess what? You are talking about what does it mean to be an outstanding man.
No, it's why are
Right.
people not getting married?
And
We're
if
talking-
people are not getting married, right? Just as you are saying, your dad did everything your dad did. He did a great job, right? If I was, let's say I'm
No, go ahead.
I look
Speak
at
freely.
your
Speak
son.
freely. Speak freely.
I look at your dad, right?
Right.
He will be the reason why I would want to get married.
Exactly.
Because I'm looking at his lifestyle and I like it.
Now,
right?
what does your dad do?
Now,
Now, let me
let's-
ask you. Hold on. Before we go further, how would you come? Would you say that your dad was a good man?
I would say my dad, yes, he was a good man.
Okay, so now looking at what he had and how he sacrificed himself and everything he did for you to grow up the way that you did, the way he loved your mother, would you not want to be that same type of man, regardless of the pool that's out there? Because at the end of the day, if you go out there and you look for a good woman, you find a good woman. There's no way you're gonna say put her on the same level as a woman that's out there just trying to drink. I don't want to say just trying to let's say a gold digger or something like that.
Should I finish that
But
sentence?
when we
No, I'm not finishing now, bro.
when we
But
say
I'm
that,
saying-
right? When
Yeah.
we say that, this is where I'm coming from, right?
Right.
I'm saying all this. It's not because I'm saying that I didn't have a good role. I didn't have.
I know you had a good one. Why? Because you have a good wife.
But the thing is this: we are talking not just about Mr. Tintin, not just about you, not just about him. We're
Right.
talking about men in general.
But guess what? While we're talking about myself, we're talking about you and we're talking about Mikey.
But
Did
the
we
thing
all
is-
grow up the same way? No, we did not.
But the thing is,
We did not all grow up the same way. We did
The
not all
grown
have the
man.
same. We did not all have the same role models. We did not have all the same instances.
if you all
But-
did, we wouldn't have this problem. Right? If you all had a role model like your father, we wouldn't have this problem.
Right.
And that's why I'm saying
But you
that
see-
there is
but-
an
but you see
agenda.
sometimes-
Mikey, what was the main reason why you said that men are not getting married? You agreed with me. What is the main reason why you said men are not getting married? Outside influences.
Yeah.
Social media. Social media is bigger than we think it is.
And sometimes the people you hang out with, your environment, all those play an factor. You see, you could have a great role model coming up, right? Somebody that showing you the way, giving you wisdom, giving you advice and everything, right? But at the same time, depending, like for instance, if your dad is home giving you advice, right? And you go to school, you don't see your dad, right?
Yup.
If you're doing sports, right? Now you just move from one environment to another environment. If you're doing club, right? What I'm doing, I'm using an example, is my life, right? My dad was somebody that would go to work in the morning, and then by the time he comes home, like, I'm probably not home. Because
Right.
I go to school from 6, 7. I'm
You
done with school at
practice
3.
everything
I go
else.
I go to club practice. After club practice, I go to school practice. After school practice, I go to club practice. By the time I'm home, my dad is already asleep, right? So let's say days I'll probably see my dad is probably on weekends, right?
Right.
So if your dad is giving you this great advice, but you barely see your dad, right? You have to understand the environment that you're in are going to play in a factor. Also, when you go to school, those environment, those teachers, those friends you meet, they're all going to play in a factor. They're going to play in a role. So, like I was saying, the mindset. But one thing that it all comes down to is having a great mindset, because not at the end of the day, nobody can take that from you. Right? It's up to you to make that decision. No matter what advice you receive from somebody, at the end of the day, it's up to you to listen,
Facts.
or whether you want to listen or put this out of this advice and maybe change it to make it your own. It's up to you. But you see, we are being influenced too easily by what is out there in life,
Exactly.
what is out there on social media. You understand? Somebody like there was one time I was watching this video and this girl was saying that she wants somebody that's making $500,000 a month. My question is this: that you wanting that type of caliber of man, do you think that you're going to be the only female that he's going to be with? But the question it is, what are you even bringing to that guy?
But what are you willing to give up for that guy?
That's the question. You see, so a lot of women nowadays are making this request of what they want in a man, but they themselves they
think
don't
they
even
want.
want to work
What
to
they
become
think they
half or so. I was watching this video. The guy that played Medea, I forgot his name. Tyler Perry. He was saying in the video, he went to speak and he told the ladies that he's going to show them how to find a great man. He told the ladies to write every single thing they want in a
From
man.
a man.
Right? Write it down, every single thing. Credit score, 6 feet, whatever you're looking for, money, whatever, right? And then he told the ladies, every single thing that you wrote, become it. See, a lot of women nowadays want a lot of things from the men, but are not willing to work hard to become those things. So the question is, if you're not willing to work hard to be what you're saying you want, and if somebody comes and is doing that, what are you going to give up for that guy? What are you going to do for that guy? You see, and most women nowadays don't have the answer. That's why they would rather date, because dating is less problematic, because then they could just get up and leave. You understand? Then get married and then go through all this stress. Because when marriage is a different level of commitment that if you're not ready or called to be in that setup, it's not going to work, because it's not something that is going to be nice every day. So if you don't change your mindset, right? If you don't change the way you think, the way you receive, the way you communicate, the way you do a lot of things, like the people that influence you, the people that you hang around with, all of that, we human beings in general, both women and men, we're not going to survive. And the marriage is going to continue to go up, whether it's women that is initiating or men, because I'm not going to say men are total faults, but women don't get up and just say they want a divorce. The only thing I hate about it is that I don't think that a man should be penalized for half of the things.
That I agree.
I don't think a man should be penalized, right, for half of the things that he's worked with the entire life.
That I
if
agree.
you, the lady, have zero contribution on it.
Yeah.
There's a difference between you work with the man and you
From the beginning.
From the beginning.
Yes.
That I agree. If you guys are going separate ways, yes, you deserve 50-50, because when the guy was
Not
crying,
even 50-50, but equity.
Equity, at least,
Yeah.
right?
whatever it is, you
Yeah.
deserve it, right?
Yeah.
But I'm saying is, if you have zero contribution, you did nothing. The guy already made it before he met you. I don't think the justice should be, you should receive half of what the
Okay.
guy has worked for. I don't think it is. I don't agree with that one.
That kind of system is the reason why, in my opinion, and please, women, don't come for my head, is the reason why some women behave the way they behave sometimes in marriages. So hold on.
And you have to understand this.
There was this article,
This
I
is the
think
same reason why men will not get married, because
Get married.
because
That's
exactly what I've been trying to
they
say.
put it in their head like, yo, anything can happen in a marriage, you understand, right? But
If you're happy, I'm taking 70.
But
You get rewarded
like what you
for
said, instant gratification,
divorce.
right? Both sides have to be willing to work.
Right.
But at the end of the day, mistakes will happen. But the question is, when the mistake happen, right? It's like you are blaming the man for the mistake that happened. Whether it's his fault, right? But at the same time, you are blaming the man like, okay, this marriage is falling apart because you cheated.
Right.
But I don't think that, a man should be blamed just because, let's say cheating was the factor. I don't think that, because you cheated,
we taking 50%.
we taking half of every single thing you've done in life and giving to the
And
woman.
it's more than half.
So there was this. It was on Facebook. I read it, right, and I think this man is a Caucasian. I don't know what happened, but I think I don't know whether he was what I posted it or he posted it somewhere and somebody took it and reposted it on Facebook. But the man said he spent like 40 years building an empire and met a woman. When he met this woman, he already built himself already. Okay. And then when he met this woman, they've lived for 70. So they got married and they've been married for 7 years.
Okay.
Now, 7 years later,
It's not even that long.
the marriage didn't work out. Now they are both going
Their separate
ways. And now the system
Taking him to the
is
cleaners.
taking half of what this man has built. So he posted it and said, I don't think this is fair, considering the fact that I worked my butt off for over 40 years to build this, and I've only been with this woman for 7 years. On what audacity does this woman deserve all my hard work? And when I read it, I'm a woman. I could have said, "Oh man, shut up, just give the money." But for me, I have 3 brothers. And I always argue about this particular system here, right? And me personally, I don't think it's fair. I have 3 brothers. Who knows? I might have a son, right? So sometimes you really have to put yourself in certain shoes and say, come on now, this is really outrageous, right? If a woman was with you from the beginning, right?
It's a different story.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
But when a man really, let's say you and I went to the same school, right? You have to work here because we are born with our value. Your values, you got to make the money.
We earn our
so
value.
we are 2 separate individuals, right? So we went to the same college with the same student loan, right? Right after college, I have to, because I'm a woman, I can date around and do all of that. You have to go work because I said I want a man that makes $200,000 a salary. I want a man that is making $500,000. I want a man that is a millionaire. And then you work your butt off to make your millions. And then when I met you, you're a self-made woman, a self-made man already. And now we are together. 5-7 years later, the marriage didn't work. And now I'm saying that I want half of what you built your ass for. I mean, come on now.
Now, when I say
system.
Now, when I
It's
say
not fair, right?
this,
Yeah.
that man's very life is at stake. You just prove
So
me
that
right.
one,
Because guess what? You taking 50% of whatever I made, right? And then
but you also have to
else,
understand, it's not just men. It's
it's
vice versa,
But
right?
most of the
Whoever
time-
makes the money, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
but most of the time it's men that make
Well,
more than
yeah.
money, right? So if I'm a man and you are taking all this, and then not even talking about all the other stuff that I have to pile on top of that, right? Do you know what that does to man? That literally can reduce man by a decade of their life. To think about me, how hard I have to work.
Yeah, some
how,
people
what I have to put
after that, they might not
what-
want to get married
what-
again.
Not even
People
married.
might wanna live.
It can break the will of a man.
Yeah.
But
And
you see-
when man's will is broken, that man is just as.
But
good
you
as
see,
dead.
you see, when you were talking, you said that you have 3 brothers, so you might have a son, right? A lot of women don't really put themselves in men's shoes. You see, it's not easy for a man. It's not easy to do the protecting, to do the providing, right? Especially nowadays, that's what women want. A man that will provide security, that will provide, do this. Sometimes be a mechanic, be an engineer, be a lawyer, be a doctor at the same time. They want damn near Superman, right? But you see, they want that the requirements nowadays keep going up. But that's what they want now. But you see, you want all of this, right? But then you don't realize that you can still do all of that, and you could get up one day, change your mind, and you still get penalized for it. You understand? That's what plays a lot of majority work, because men that are really sitting there realizing, like, look, I could do all of this, because women are never happy. Their mood changes like this. Women are never happy. You understand? So their mood changes like this. They go through emotions, like they go through 100 emotions like in 1 second. So it's like, I could do all this for this lady, and she could just literally get up one day and be like, no, I'm done. And I could just get penalized for it.
But those women that really allow that, right? Do they have sons?
And a lot of women,
brothers?
and a lot of
If
women,
not
another
only
woman
that,
do the same thing to
not
their
only that,
but
they
you
are
have to
getting
understand.
rewarded.
But you have to understand, they're not thinking about what you call their son or whatever. They think about themselves in the moment, what they can gain. You have to understand about as I believe what goes around comes around. Because if you happen to have a son and the same thing happens to him, you shouldn't cry. You understand? You shouldn't cry. Like Mr. Tintin said, it's very sad. Like, you might lose yourself if like you work so hard to build this, right? To build this empire, this dynasty, right? For half of it to be gone just like that because of a mistake.
overnight,
You understand? I think the system needs to be fixed. You have there has to be a compromise that can happen, especially if the woman played no role. There's a difference if she played a role. Yeah, you did. Whether a job was okay, you go work and I take care of the home. I take care of the kids. You come home, there's food. I'm taking care of the kids. I make sure they don't bother you. You know, you get your beauty sleep because you were working all day. That's still them working. If she played all that role in the beginning, that's still playing a role. Women like that, if it's going separate and she says she wants this, I don't think there should be an argument. Whatever she's requesting for when you guys are going separate ways, if she's been with you day one, whatever she wants, she can get it. But if you play zero, no, listen, it don't matter if we married for 30, 40, 50 years. If I build every single thing before I met you, oh yes, there has to be, we have to come to some type of compromise for you're not getting 50 of everything.
So then, isn't that the reason why there's prenup now, right?
But the
You see,
prenup is not concrete.
No, prenup is not ironclad.
but within the prenup, right?
Unless you sign a
Are you
prenup
not
and an
supposed to
NDA.
like? But within the prenup, right? Are you not supposed to write
Identify exactly what you want to protect. Yes.
what you want to protect
Let
in
me-
there?
Let me
see, back in the days, you know, people go into marriage without prenup. And if you
But
talk
we
about now,
not-
if you
we
talk about
talking
now, if you talk about now, of course, people
But-
that have made it, they're going to go in there with the agenda. Okay,
As of right
she has
now,
to sign.
As of right now, right? If we're talking about men that don't want to be married, we're talking about men that have made
Made their
men.
money. Yeah,
We're talking about made men that have had everything.
They're going to want prenup.
They're gonna make sure they have a prenup that's
But-
ironclad.
Yeah,
Right.
But you
So,
see,
but
but the women,
question
but
still
the
stands.
women don't
Why
like
are
it.
men not getting married?
Women also don't like it.
At
and
the
let
end
me
of the
put it-
day,
let me-
if you go into marriage for the right
Reason?
for the right reasons,
Their money shouldn't be.
It shouldn't matter.
Yeah, you're
No,
right.
but
But
let's-
a
let's-
lot
let's
of
say
people
this.
go in marriage with
My
the right
biggest issue-
reasons, right?
A lot of
but
people
then
do, but a
something
lot of people don't.
happens during the way.
Like
But
what?
let me say this.
All
Let me
hold on,
say
wait.
this. Let me
ask, what can derail a marriage on a woman's behalf? You're here, so what on a woman's behalf? What can derail a marriage?
Plenty.
Cheating,
Cheating
More
and
than
what
that.
else? And what else?
abuse.
Abuse and what else?
Those two are the main.
And those two things. So if you're not being cheated on and you're not being abused, what else can derail a marriage?
You should stay in the marriage. And
But
work
there's a
it
lot
out.
of people that aren't staying in the marriage.
Though
because
that's
of that.
why
Because-
marriage is not for children.
Why? Because they
It's not
have
for
their
children.
like everybody has their own pretenses on why they're going into a situation.
Right.
Like Mike was saying, you know what I'm saying? It's there's so many things that people are putting themselves in that they don't fully understand.
They don't understand it.
And
For me, I feel like if it's not cheating, you're not emotionally abused or physically abused, it can work out.
You know, one thing that I
You
give,
know-
one,
you know-
one,
you
one
know-
thing I
if
give
there's
kudos,
effort, it should work
Yeah.
out.
one thing
but
I
there's
give
no
ku-
effort.
One thing I give kudos to is back in the days, one thing they did a lot, right? And you know, it could be good, it could be bad, was there was a lot of patience and there was a lot of fighting and there was a lot of tolerance, right? Nowadays,
this generation,
now
but there
this
was-
generation,
zero.
this
Do you
generation,
know- do you know when
there's
that
zero
started?
tolerance.
Do you know when that started?
So women are in the point because you know women are making money now. You know what I'm saying?
They
So
feel like they don't need you.
They feel like they don't need you. So
Once a woman feels like they don't need you, they'll move
they're
on.
done.
Yeah.
You
And then the
understand?
marriage is over. So
But-
what did you go into it for?
For.
You shouldn't feel like you needed me. You should feel like, okay, you know what? You and I can build something bigger and better. It shouldn't be, oh, I don't need you, so I'm going on to the next thing. Or I don't need you, I'm going on, I don't need anybody. Once you do that, the only people that are going to be at the disservice are your children. So before you decide to get married and have kids and do all these other things, you should know that, okay, if I'm going down, I'm not
Get
getting
your
married.
mind ready.
I'm not getting married for a wedding. I'm getting
Social
married
media
for a
wedding.
marriage.
Go take student loans.
Exactly.
Or
But do
go
you
take
know
loans
when
just to
all
get
this
married and
started?
turn around.
One.
It started after the 70s. Because before the 70s, right, divorces wasn't happening the way it does, right? If a man built his empire and the woman decided to leave, it was equity. It wasn't that they were going to just
Split.
give the woman 51%.
So at
right?
what time did it
And then
change?
after the 70s, that's what I'm saying. There's been an agenda, right? There's an agenda that's being driven, right? And is getting, and they're about to reach their goals, and eventually I'll tell you what the goal is, right? After the 70s, Now the court system came up and said, okay, so if you are married, right, it doesn't say the duration of time. So if I have built this empire for 50 years, right, and I go to Vegas and I get drunk
And
and I take some girl to the altar.
What kind of girl?
It doesn't matter. To the altar. And then some
Try to find a little something.
pastor marries us. We sign the papers, right? The girl come back, let's say a week later, say, I'm getting divorced. Guess what? Your business is in jeopardy.
You didn't sign a prenup?
That's not true.
Actually,
Because guess what?
I've been watching
That's not
a lot of legal shows.
That's not true.
And apparently, if you marry or you gamble, right, and you may be impaired, you're not gonna get penalized for it.
Okay, fine. Let's say
An
you
annulment.
married somebody for a year. Not 5 days. Let's say you met somebody and you married them for a year.
You didn't
right?
sign prenup
You
with
didn't
all the
sign
money that
prenup.
you made
Let me tell you something.
He was drunk.
Look, let me tell you something. Not even that.
after you became sober.
My dear.
You have the brain to build your
was in
billion
love.
dollar
my dear,
empire.
my dear,
It was
let
love
me,
at
let
first
me, let
sight.
me
In
tell you this.
2024.
No, not
What
not
are you
now.
saying?
But guess what?
If you are my son,
Guess what?
I will lay you on the floor
And
and,
whip you.
beat you up.
And guess what?
Because your brain has to work. Come on now.
Guess what?
Uh-huh.
The heart is deceitful.
It don't matter.
And guess what?
It don't matter.
My
It
man-
doesn't
my
matter
man
whether
said-
you.
my man
it
said the
doesn't
heart is
matter.
deceitful.
It doesn't matter whether you are drunk or
In a
not.
poetic
What do you
book.
mean?
After you've gotten your
Man, get outta
wedding
here.
in your drunk mode, right? You should be sober the next day.
No, not
if
not,
you are smart
need to
enough.
do your prenup before the wedding.
Oh, really?
No.
You
Yes,
can't do prenup
that's
after
not
wedding?
No,
No.
you can't get
If
married,
you get
because that
married-
means look it up, because that means you haven't agreed yet.
There's a grace.
Without a
There's a
prenup.
grace period.
grace
I told you
period.
there's a grace period.
that you
So
can
the
do,
next
yeah.
morning you should be
But
sober.
guess what? We are married, so why would I even go
You
with
just
anything
let
you
the
put?
girl.
He's talking about he's in love.
Let's say you marry somebody, right? Let's say
You don't
marry
believe in
somebody.
love?
Stop
Let's say
that.
you marry somebody, right?
Uh-huh.
You marry somebody a year, right? They said, I
Ain't no
don't
way
think
you're
we are
gonna be married to the
practicable.
wrong person for 1 year by accident.
Ah,
No way.
Please.
By accident for 1
I
year.
know.
no,
By
not by
accident.
accident. No, I'm not saying
Listen,
by
I
accident.
know a wedding.
I'm not
that
saying-
lasted 1 week.
Had to
Not,
say
not
one
by an
line.
accident, right? Not by an accident. You can be with somebody for 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, right? Let me tell you, the day that you get married, things change. I'm telling you, things will change, right? Because now there's a difference between a girlfriend, where I can tell you goodbye, and a wife.
Wait, Mr. Tinte, I have a question.
There's a whole difference.
How's your marriage, man? You happy?
Shit, I won't be married this long if I'm not. You know me, I
Yeah, he's been with his wife for a long
And
time.
my wife understands.
How long you been married?
Oh shit, too long. My
He
wife
said too
understands my point of view, right? And we talk about this.
She got sisters?
You're a bad boy. So it's like this, right?
Uh-huh.
Some people can be together and they're great girlfriend and boyfriends, right? They get married and shit hit the fans. Things go straight, hit the fan.
You-
Because guess what? Now, maybe at that time they weren't living together. Now we are living together. Now you see
That's
the little
another- that's another-
nuance of
Speak
me.
on that though. That's another topic. Speak on that.
Right?
Do you believe
now?
it?
Now you are seeing the nuance of me. Now you are seeing
What's
a
the
certain
topic?
behavior and a certain character that I was hiding from you, and all of a sudden you don't want.
What's
me
the
anymore.
question?
Do you believe
don't
in
want
living
that.
with your significant other before you get married?
That's it.
And somebody also said you believe in testing before getting married.
said what?
Testing?
Testing.
What
Oh
kind,
yes.
What kind of testing?
That one is necessary. That one,
what
Having
yes.
sex before marriage.
Yes, that one is necessary.
Well, I have 4 girls, so definitely I do not. Listen,
Well, this lady, right? This lady,
Don't
this
cap.
lady
You know
married.
what?
Don't cap.
you got
That is a-
Don't cap.
What I would say is, I do agree that you do need to live with somebody before you get married.
And have sex with a person.
Listen, we're not talking about that.
Why?
Mike,
It's very
I'm
important,
I'm talking to
Jojo.
Mike. I'm
Why?
talking Mikey.
Why?
Mikey.
Answer that
Because,
question.
because
though.
there could be
Mike.
there was this pastor,
Yeah,
right?
answer that question, though.
You get married to this girl, and during their honeymoon, the girl come out and went to the church and said, I want divorce.
Why?
I want divorce.
Why?
Because the pastor is pimping.
Oh, God.
And she went but now the pastor have a small little baby carrot.
But you see, but all I want to say is, see, there's a lot. If the topic of why men don't want it's a whole issue. Not so it's not just men, you know, it's both men and women. But I think both what's it called, sides just need to work on themselves and stop being influenced by what is out there.
Right.
I think when we get to that realization, we can and be ready to work.
Right.
Not be ready and come to a realization that not just relationship, right, but going into marriage is a whole different ball game.
Yes.
And be ready that there can be days that the storm is going to be really heavy, but if you are patient and we ride it through, there's juice at the end. You understand? I think both sides just need to come to that realization. If we come to that realization, I think yes, marriage can be very beautiful. You know, when I talk like this, people be like, nah. But you know, there's a lot of BS that will go on before it becomes beautiful. But it's just a lot of people are not ready to go through that BS. You understand? And I feel like majority. Number one influence is social media. You understand? There's a lot of people that are creating a lot of podcasts nowadays, sharing their ideas, and people without brain cells think that they need to listen to what is being said. Like if you listen to a podcast and a woman that is 35 or 38 saying that, oh, I need somebody that's making 100,000 or 200,000. Who are you? Your time has already passed. You are giving these young people bad advice. So because if women hear you putting price on how much a man needs to make, now women all start listening, saying, okay, I need a woman that's making this, doing this. It's stupid. When you put a price tag on something, it will not last. You understand? Because somebody that's making 60,000 can take care of you, and you can be very happy. As the same way somebody just making 20,000 or 30,000. At the end of the day, the question is the person that you're marrying. Is he ready to sacrifice what he has for you to be happy? It has nothing to do with money. Right. But you see, when you put money, you're gonna get the top percent of men in the United States, and those people,
they like side chicks.
God.
Oh,
but the whole thing too is this, right? With
you're
all,
you're gonna spend another 5 hours.
No. I'm just gonna end this. with everything that we have said, right? Marriage can be and is a very beautiful institution. It's a very beautiful
thing. You have a daughter?
Thing. Yes, I do. It's a very, very, very beautiful thing.
Very beautiful.
But the only thing about it is, are we willing to let that beauty flourish, right? And I know that we all talk about the woman need to be this, the man need to be this. But for men out there, right, there's only one secret. You need to get to a point, and you need to ask yourself questions. Am I being the type of man that every woman wants to be with?
But quick question, what were you going to talk about? You said you was going to say something.
No, he said that's a different topic.
What I'll say to end this thing is marriage. The essence of marriage is, I feel like it's being misconstrued. So what I think is, as individuals, we need to understand who we are as people, right? Understand what works for us. We need to find who our perfect match is and not go above that, because you know what? Life is fluid. So what you believe is perfect today will change tomorrow. So as long as you know who you are and what you're looking for, what you want as a family structure, as long as you're able to find someone that can meet you at halfway and just help you grow, marriage is going to be everything that it needs to be. Because at the end of the day, as a man, right, when you have children, when you're married, you want your children to take the best features of your better half. Your better half is always going to be your wife. You dig what I'm saying? So if you find a good woman, a great woman, like just your life partner, and you know that you're going to procreate with them, you know that your kids, whether you're there or not, are going to be in good hands.
Right.
Whether it's because you passed on or because the marriage just didn't work, you know that at the end of the day, you always be able to tip your hat at that woman that you had children with. Let's make sure that we're doing the right thing. Let's make sure that we're not looking at physical things like money, beauty, or whatever else life has to offer right now.
That one. I don't know about that one. You said beauty.
Beauty, man. You gonna marry an ugly girl? Yeah, Mike. I know you're not. So,
Beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, right?
So at the end of the day,
But women said it's not what's on the outside, it's what's on the inside.
it is what's on the inside at the end of the day, because your wife's gonna change. Let me tell you something, right? After you marry a woman, right, she'll change.
She become fat.
No,
Not mine.
no. After you marry a woman, she changes. After she has a child, she changes. So you have to be ready to evolve.
Yeah.
After a woman has a child, she changes, because
Yeah.
you want me to tell you why? 10, when you first married her, right, you were her everything.
Oh,
You're
God, you had a
this
six-pack, right?
This man,
Yeah. How did you know? Now I got one row. After marrying this one.
this man was her everything. After she has that child, right, the love that she has for that child,
It doubles.
man, not even I wouldn't even say doubles. I can't even put a figure on it, because once a child comes from a woman, they become different. So when she looks at you, she's gonna see you as a different person, because before you were her everything, but then now she sees something that came from her.
She sees
Nah,
little
I'll take
Tintin.
the kid and I'll be like, "Hey, you bad."
Oh my God.
You
I'm taking the kid, so you dogging both of us.
Oh.
She sees little.
do that.
You are the type of
do
a
that.
man that would like to share the breast with the child. You
I do.
exactly.
Is that what you
Exactly.
like? Is that what you like?
Ladies,
I
and
like it.
gentlemen,
You'll be
thanks for
fighting
joining
the
us.
breast and not with the kids.
How did you know?
It's written all over your face.
Do you live with me?
He got a
You're
milk mustache
suspect.
right now. He
My
got milk in his
boy.
mustache. Look at him.
My
But
boy.
listen though, you know,
Me, the way I like
you know
my
what
wife
thing
attention.
I heard about married men though.
Right.
After their wife give birth, right? They be trying to get their wife to go to the gym, right? But they themselves, they want to stay the
Really
way.
camera road. My wife
Okay.
asked me, "What happened to you? Where's the guy that I married?" I was like,
Alright.
"He's long gone."
Let's wrap this up.
But let's talk about that topic that you
What
were saying
topic?
about. Would you do you believe about what's it called?
We're not going to talk that now. Nope. Nope. We're not doing that today, okay?
We will not leave.
We are done, period. So, guys, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the show. Now, this is where I ask the question now. Now, if you were a woman, would you take half of a man's money?
Oh yes, they will. Anybody that
Hold
comes,
on.
anybody that comes in the comment section and comes, oh me this, they capping. They
Hold
lying.
on. Let me finish. Would you
rejects
take
money?
half of the man's money,
That's a question.
after divorce? Now, and if you say yes, I'll do that. Why not? Then, if you have a son, are you okay with another woman doing the same thing to your son? Just think about it. And let's, keep the comment rolling. I will read and I will definitely reply your comment. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next week.
This is Diaspora Moments by Dion London.